Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Sarasota. My name is Kathleen Frankert, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the center. We're so pleased you're joining us today. I greet you with Namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word that means that the divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. Let's begin as we do every week by reciting our community declaration. The words from our website can now be seen on your screen. I invite you to join your voice with mine as we read the declaration together. We are a spiritual center that honors all paths to God. Ours is a positive message inspiring our possibilities and offering spiritual tools for transforming our lives and helping to make the world a better place. Here we can find peace of mind, belonging to a spiritual home, and a personal relationship with the God of our understanding. We are here to discover what we already know. And now, as we move into our time of prayer and meditation, I invite you to settle in. Give yourself this gift of relaxing into the spaciousness of the divine. Allow this stillness to quiet your thoughts. Close your eyes or soften your focus as we turn within. Focus on and connect with your breath. Listen and center yourself in the beautiful words of the chant, one breath at a time.
One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where peace comes in. One step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where peace comes in. One step at a time. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time.
Continuing to focus on the breath, notice the rise and fall of this life-giving energy within us. It roots us to this present moment where life is happening. The word spirit comes from the Latin spiro, meaning breath. So we recognize breath as symbolic of the presence and operation of spirit, the one power and one presence in all of life, in me and in everyone, everywhere. In any moment, stopping to connect with the breath is our opportunity to be reminded of our oneness with that which is divine, infinite, whole, ever-loving, and ever at peace. Continuing to focus on the spirit within as our breath, let us be inspired by the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes. I turn to the presence of God at the center of my being, and it is here that I discover the nature of the good, which must and does reside in the back of all people and events. It is only normal and natural that good should prevail. And as I realize that this is the nature of God and accept this manifestation in my life, this is what I experience. I am resolved to see the good in everyone and every event. I refuse to acknowledge or accept that anything other than good can come into my life. I am now facing life free of fear and filled with joy. I am grateful to recognize and affirm this abiding truth for me and for everyone as I release this word to the loving law. I let go, I let God, and so it is. Today, our spiritual director, Rev Karen Wolfson, is with us. Her timely talk is entitled, "We Voted, Now What?" Before we hear from Rev Karen, let's enjoy and be inspired by our Bob Teesdale, who is presenting a great song entitled, "We Were Made for These Times." Welcome, Bob.
I can hear such sadness in the voices of my friends, talking about this world and all its pain. We must not lose heart, we cannot give up hope. For long we have journeyed, waiting for this day. These times, these times seem so uncertain, so unkind. But this path makes us stronger, the higher we climb. Yeah, we were made for these times. Let us turn our fears into courage, into faith, our greed into generosity. We can give our anger to love's compassion and turn this injustice toward peace and unity. These times, these times seem so uncertain, so unkind. But this path makes us stronger, the higher we climb. Yes, we were made for these times. Didn't we say we are believers? Didn't we ask for grace? We must remember right now we are needed to stand and shine our light in this hour, in this place. These times seem so uncertain, so unkind. But this path makes us stronger, the higher we climb. Yes, we were made for these times. These times seem so uncertain, so unkind. we shall use our voices. We will not walk blind. Yes, we were made for these times, these times. Our hearts were made for these times.
Thank you, Bob. We were made for these times. Oh my, that is more meaningful than ever, isn't it? On this particular day, at this particular time in our lives, in our country. It can be a very sobering reminder, and it can also be a very inspiring reminder. We were made for these times. Hi, everyone. Let's talk more about that in a minute, but let me ask, how are you feeling today? This is such a pivotal time for our country. Are you having mixed feelings? Understatement? Sure, me too. But I have to tell you, by the way, one of the interesting things about this new way of bringing our message to you online and by video is that there's a lag time of a week or more between the day of recording these videos and the day they're ready and posted for your viewing. So what that means is that as I'm saying these words, it is a few days before our November 3rd election day. And as you are viewing this, it is a few days after November 3rd. Need a few minutes to let that sink in? But what I have to say today, pre-election is the same as I would say post-election. The title of my message for you is, We've Voted. Now what? But first, let's check in. You know I think about you all the time, and I ask that question in my mind, how are you doing? You are in my thoughts always, and I feel our connection. It's so good to know you're out there, and of course what really helps is those emails. I love hearing from you. Just a short note about how you're doing. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, we enjoy your letting us know where you are and your comments. And to you, our team of financial contributors, we could not do this without you. Thank you. Thank you. You are an absolutely essential part of all that makes it possible for us to share our message, our caring, our connection, as we're doing each week. So thank you all for joining with us today. You know, as I think of you during the week, I continue to affirm and see you as vibrantly healthy and abundantly supported in every way. So, we voted. Now what? Well, maybe the first thing is to go back to that chant you heard earlier. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. Of course, the question comes to mind, shouldn't I wait to see who wins the election before I share this message? That's tempting, but no. What I'm here to do is invite you to invite us all to a realization far more spacious and enduring than something defined by who won and who lost. A realization that even while we are processing the outcome of our election, a realization that opens us up to bringing our best to the challenges that are before us. Now, I'm not minimizing the enormity of what this election means to each of us, to our country, and I'm not trivializing the fervent passion on all sides, nor the immense challenges we face. But people and systems and ideologies and political positions and policies are temporary. They come and go and change. And yet, the sun rises and sets. Flowers bloom. Life continues irresistibly showing up. As Bob is going to sing for us later, that beautiful song, It's a Wonderful World. It says, I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. I see skies of blue and clouds of white and the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And you know, we too, along with all of nature, are creations of the infinite out of itself. We have within us the changeless, irresistible impulse of life's creative energy. And it's not contingent on people, places, or things. I'm reminding us of what is changeless, of how we can be grounded so that we are able to be a presence of love and peace, of life-affirming creative actions as we move forward, so that we can move forward together, compassionately, kindly, productively, and creatively. As our declaration that we read each Sunday states, being instruments for making the world a better place. So, what does that look like? Well, here are some of my thoughts for your consideration. I know that each of us will, of course, do this in our own unique way. Now, let me ask, for starters, are you pleased with the election results? Are you upset with the results? Well, either way, while of course it's relevant and likely deeply emotional, that's not the real point, and it is certainly not the place to dwell. I am not suggesting that we shouldn't require accountability, good stewardship, and responsibility of our leaders, but I am also saying that you and I will make the most powerful impact for positive outcomes if we relinquish our attachment to the popular idea that lasting solutions can be found at the level where the problems were created, people, places, and things. Even though it's so tempting and it's so seductive. Remember Einstein's well-known statement, problems can't be solved with the same mindset that created them. By the way, in case you hadn't noticed, this is the same truth for you and me in our daily lives. To bring about lasting transformation of anything we're dealing with, we must ultimately turn our attention to a level higher and beyond people, places, and things. So, what do we do? Well, here's a folk tale that sheds some light on this. Once there were two boys who were great friends, and they were determined to remain that way forever. So when they grew up and got married, they built their houses facing one another and had just a small path that formed a border between their farms. And all was wonderful, until one day, a trickster from the village decided to play, well, a trick on them. He dressed himself in a two-color coat that was divided down the middle, so one side of the coat was red and the other side was blue. Wearing this unique coat, the trickster walked along the narrow path between the houses of the two friends who were working opposite each other in their fields that day. And the trickster made enough noise as he passed them so that they would be sure to look up and see him. And they did. Well, at the end of the workday, the two friends were chatting as they often did. And one friend said to the other, "Oh, by the way, wasn't that a beautiful red coat that man was wearing today?" Well, the other said, "Well, no, it was a blue coat. It was beautiful, but it was blue." And the first one said, "I saw the man clearly as he walked between us. His coat was red." Well, the response came, "Nope, you're wrong. I saw it too, and it was blue." And then the first one said, "I know what I saw. The coat was red." And now things were getting tense. "You don't know anything. It was blue. No, it was red. No, it was blue." And they kept arguing about this silly thing more and more heatedly, angrily insulting each other. And eventually they began to hit each other, and then they fell on the ground fighting and struggling and punching and kicking and shouting, "Our friendship is over. We're done." Well, just then, the trickster returned and faced the two men. And he walked directly in front of them, and he showed them his coat, and he laughed at their silly fight. And these two friends were stunned to see that his coat was red on one side and blue on the other. Well, they stopped fighting, but then they furiously screamed at the trickster, saying, "We have lived side by side like brothers all our lives, and it's all your fault that we are fighting. You have started a war between us." The trickster said, "Don't blame me for this battle. I didn't make you fight. Both of you are wrong, and both of you are right. Yes, what each one saw was true, but you're fighting because of what you saw when you looked at my coat, each from your own point of view. Can you relate? I can. The point of the story is not that we should not have our own perspectives, but I know you get it. It's a reminder to be willing to acknowledge other perspectives, and rather than resist those, dig in our heels about being vehemently against something. Again, it's so tempting to go further and turn that energy around, do a 180 to what you are for, what we are for. To be clear, I do believe in doing my best to support those people and those programs that I feel will promote the well-being of others and our world. But I need to remain unattached to the insisting that these are the only means to those ends. Now here's something I do when I remember. Whenever I'm at an impasse, having struggled to no avail with conflicting views and what seem to be impossibly polarized situations, I finally remember to breathe in the spaciousness of the perspective of this wisdom from the Sufi poet Rumi. Out beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Now that is powerful stuff. And that is a huge idea, a huge invitation. And admittedly, I can be quite hesitant to respond to it because part of me is so attached to my position. But it is in that spaciousness that we can not only find peace and purpose for ourselves, but also clear guidance for how each of us can be an influence for healing in our world. The writer Clarissa Pinkola Estes wrote, "In any dark time, there's a tendency to veer toward fainting over how much is wrong or unmended in the world. Do not focus on that. There's a tendency, too, to dwell on what is outside your reach, what cannot yet be. Do not focus there." So then, where should we focus? I'm going to insert here. Well, first of all, let's focus on our similarities rather than our differences, on the things that connect us, that we have in common, rather than on things that separate us. And taking it a step further, there are so many things we care deeply about, so many things we are for, and as we turn our attention and focus to these, we become instruments in the healing process by the power of our conscious intention. Clarissa Pinkola Estes gently reminds us that we can make a difference. She says, "Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul will help immensely." So, my friends, we have voted. Now what? Well, I'm going to sum it up by inviting you to join me in setting a sacred intention to do 3 things. Number 1, go to Rumi's field beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing, of separation and conflict, and hang out there for a while. And number 2, be for something rather than railing against something. No matter what it is that you and I are against, we can do a 180 and we can turn it right around into something that we are for. And number 3, do a small, calm thing to mend the part of the world that is within your reach. And that might begin with simply being calm. I can think of no better way to begin that than the lovely familiar song Bob has for us. What a wonderful world. Embrace these words. Sink into them. Let them wrap around you. Let them lift you. Live there. And from that wonderful world in song and in heart, I know that we can reach out then and bring our best to making this a more wonderful world. Enjoy, and I'll see you soon.
I see trees green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, and clouds of white, bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I see babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Reverend Karen, thanks for your thoughtful inspiration for what is ahead. And Bob, as always, we are so grateful for your musical contributions to our service. The Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota is pleased to support you with prayer, inspiration, encouragement, and opportunities for virtual community and connection, like this one. And now is the time to share our offering that supports our ability to continue to be here for you. There are 3 easy ways to contribute. On your screen, you'll see our website where you can select the donate button, which allows you to contribute via PayPal or by credit card. Or you may mail a check to our address shown here on our website, or arrange for automatic contributions through your online banking. And now I invite you to take your virtual gift in your hand, place it over your heart, blessing it as you share it, and know this with me. My gift goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. And the divine flow returns it to me, multiplied abundantly. And now let us declare together our offering affirmation. The words are on your screen. I give thanks that I may share of my good, my love, and my support. Thank you so much. Just a reminder that on our website, www.cslsarasota.com, you'll find a green prayer request button, and we invite you to use this to send your request for prayer support. We have 4 licensed spiritual practitioners here, Ron Frost, Jim Grove, Jaron Nelson, and me, who are available to know and affirm spiritual truth with and for you in whatever challenge you may be experiencing. Here on our website, you can also sign up to receive our weekly email newsletter or check out our Facebook page for posts about upcoming events. And just a couple of reminders today, our Spiritual Living Circle continues via Zoom on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., facilitated by licensed spiritual practitioner Jim Grove. This is another wonderful way to be in community as we spend an hour discussing an article from this month's Science of Mind magazine. If you'd like to participate, email Jim and he'll send you all the details. I hope by now you've checked out pop-up prayers on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. Each week, Jaron Nelson, one of our licensed spiritual practitioners, posts a short inspirational message and affirmative prayer on a different topic. Jaron is a warm, loving presence to lift and encourage you whenever you need it. Topics for prayer include experiencing harmony in the body, living in gratitude, making a decision, dissolving worry, and many, many more. Please take time this week to experience the encouragement and support of this lovely experience brought to you by Jaron. To find the videos, open YouTube on your computer or other device. Go to the search box and enter Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota. You will be led to our content page where pop-up prayers and all our past services and messages are available. And now, as we conclude this sacred time together, let us remember to breathe and know that in spirit we move forward into our day and our week ahead in health, in love, and in perfect peace. I invite you to listen or join in singing our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Thanks so much for being with us.
On earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God our Creator. We are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on